after pulling out of a debate with Joe Biden, NBC decided to reward Donald Trump by holding a town hall at the exact same time that Biden was having his own town hall on ABC. Now, there were a lot of moments that are worth mentioning, but the part that really stood out was how Donald Trump struggled to answer questions about his own tax returns. As we know, he only paid $750 in taxes in recent years. He has $400 million in debt. He's an absolute loser when it comes to his own personal finances. And so how did he do when he was asked about this? Well, let's take a look at the clip.
When I decided to run, I'm very under levered, fortunately, but I'm very under levered. I have a very, very small percentage of debt compared. In fact, some of it I did as favors to institutions that wanted to loan me money.
So Woz, do you believe that Trump is under levered?
Oh my God, where do we even start?
He is sweating.
And you know, the funny thing about this is that when institutions give, say, student loans to people or really high interest loans to bad credit having people like subprime borrowers, right? They are being done a favor, right? Like they're getting these great interests for these ridiculous loans and they are being done a favor. Donald Trump is not doing anybody a favor. And the reason why he had to go get this money from these foreign entities that nobody's really sure who would do it because he couldn't get loans. His credit was so shot. He's gone bankrupt so many times. It's like, if I give you $400 million, there's a very high likelihood that I will never see this money back. So in fact, it's the opposite. Like that's why you can't get money. For most people with good credit, yes, it's a mutually beneficial thing, right? Like you loan me some money at a decent interest rate. You make money on top of the money that you loan me. I got to do whatever it is I needed to do with the money, and we both came out pretty decently. But when it comes to people who are constantly going bankrupt, constantly defaulting on loans, banks, you're not doing me a favor by defaulting on my loan, homie. Like it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No, you just struck a nerve big time, but in a way that I think will be useful to the audience because look, people like Donald Trump keep getting loans when they've gone bankrupt 6 times, right?
Yep.
Think about how many Americans during this pandemic, when interest rates like went down considerably, how many Americans decided they wanted to refinance, right? Refinance your mortgage, it'll save you maybe if you're lucky a couple $100s per month. As someone who went through that process, no, you feel like you're applying, like you're being vetted as if you're running for president of the United States. Like it is the most insane thing ever. Look, I'm risk averse. Like I do not like, I don't like to risk anything with finances. And I know that's probably not a good thing, right? But that means that I'm like, a little uncomfortable with the stock market. I don't really like investing in it. I don't know, I don't trust it. Like that kind of stuff. I always pay my bills on time. I have great credit. I don't really have any debt other than my mortgage. Going through that process, it took 5 months. It took 5 months. It got to a point where I was like, I give up. Okay, fine. I guess I don't deserve it. I guess as a responsible human being who has a perfect credit score, I don't deserve to refinance and get a lower interest rate. It was the most infuriating thing ever. And then I found out that once the interest rates had gone lower, Fannie Mae? Fannie Mae decided that they're going to increase regulations and restrictions and also tack on an additional fee to mortgage owners who wanted to refinance. And the fee is an additional 0.5%. But anyway, thank you for letting me vent. I'm sure a lot of Americans had a similar experience, but it's infuriating, right? Because you do all the right things as a responsible American, tax-paying American, whatever, and you get screwed. Donald Trump goes bankrupt 6 times, and he gets these loans. It blows my mind. And on top of it, he gets, his reputation gets laundered on The Apprentice as like this fantastic businessman. He's not a fantastic businessman, and he doesn't pay his taxes. He was asked about that as well. Let's go to the next clip.
It also says that you paid $750 in taxes in the year you were elected.
Yeah,
is that true or not?
That's a statutory number. It's a statutory.
But is that true?
I think it's a filing number. You pay $750. It's a filing or a filing fee.
Most people here probably pay more.
No, I don't know. I can tell you this. If they have my tax returns, as you know, they have to go to jail. It's illegal. But their numbers were wrong. But let me tell you what else. I don't owe money to any of these sinister people. This has been going on for years now. Russia, Russia, Russia. It turned out to be a hoax. And it turned out to be that Hillary Clinton and the Democrats were dealing with Russia, not me. It's a whole hoax. So I would not mind at all saying who it is, but it's a very small. When you look at vast properties like I have, and they're big and they're beautiful and they're well located, when you look at that, the amount of money, $400 million, is a peanut.
I mean, beads of sweat coming down his pasty, orange-colored face. Like, no one believes you. He's a crook. That's it. That's all there is to it.
He happened to come along at a time where, the bankruptcy laws on the books were very forgiving to people and businesses, similar to the ones that Donald Trump was in at those times, right? Like, it's just a happenstance of time, and he was able to find other ways to keep, the appearance that he had all this money on him. But again, I want to go back to him saying these institutions were begging me to take their money. It's true. It is true that if Donald Trump were actually, had a bunch of assets that were worth a bunch of money and had a history of paying loans back, they would be running down on him to take their money. They would. But that's not what happened. He didn't get a loan from JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, any of these other huge banks. Like, he went overseas to get a loan. Like it's obvious. Like if that were the case, Jamie Dimon would have called you personally and said, Donald, you need a loan? Come mess with us. Absolutely, that would have happened, but that's not what happened. You didn't get a loan from the biggest, richest financial institutions in America. You went elsewhere, and there's a reason for that.
Right, his last round of loans came from Deutsche Bank, and it's because US lenders refused to lend to him.
I don't speak German, sorry, I don't know that. I'm just kidding.
No, but you're right. I mean, you're right. It's just that, like, an average American, entrepreneur trying to get something off the ground fails 6 times. Like, they don't get to the 6th time. I guess that's my point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, Donald Trump couldn't figure out how to make money out of casinos. Like, it's insane. Like, that is just the craziest thing I've ever heard. Like, you don't know how to make money at a casino where literally the games are rigged against you. It's amazing.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. I really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.